All right. Thank you so much, Sir George, for meeting me this afternoon. I hope you're well.
Interesting, Sir George. Well, thank you so much for having me, Mitch. It's a pleasure always to interact with young people.
Okay, my name is Jane Mitch from a young ambassador from the Earth Project. Kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you very much for having me. My name is George Ofunja. I'm currently working as a public information consultant at United Nations Information Center. I'm currently based at United Nations office in Nairobi. I also happen to be an entrepreneur, an environmentalist, an action coach. Sometimes I act as a public speaker, and I'm also an aspiring writer. I also work as head of strategy, and that happens to be also as a director. That is at Achieve Solutions. Achieve Solutions is a training and personal development organization, basically looking at helping young people to grow in terms of knowledge when it comes to leadership, communication, and national values. I am also the founder and CEO of Taka Kazi Africa. Taka Kazi Africa is basically a waste management organization, a social enterprise, so to speak, that focuses on waste management activities and promotion of livelihoods in the communities. I also run a Humanity First platform that gives young people an opportunity for them to believe in themselves, focus on their projects, and also see what they can do in terms of finding solutions on the ground. I also inspire them, or rather give them a space for them to be encouraged and to be inspired, and to promote the values of, accountability and transparency, and also look at ways and means that they can use to be able to improve the quality of life of the people around them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that powerful introduction. So, in preparation for the World Environment Day that we're celebrating tomorrow, that's the purpose of this interview. So,
Great.
my first question would be, what has been your key motivation for being a champion for youth empowerment?
Um, First of all, allow me to say that young people are facing so many challenges, and these challenges have to be addressed. Many have no jobs. Unemployment is a problem. Many of them are caught in crime situations. Others are being radicalized. We have others languishing in poverty, basically without jobs, and achieving boredom at home. Others are in alcoholism, spaces. Others are going through mental health challenges, and these problems have to be addressed. So my motivation has been actually to see what I can do to be able to work with them so that we can improve on their quality of life and also help them to address these challenges that they are facing. So I've been motivated by challenges that these young people are facing. I'm also motivated by, this creativity, this passion of young people, the commitment they have to be able to wake up with vocation and focus on the most important issues, even as they go through these challenges. So two things: I've been motivated by the challenges and the passion and commitment of young people that they have, and to make a positive difference. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. What are some of the projects you have partnered with the youth, and what was the impact created?
All right, thank you very much. I've been running a number of projects and in partnership with the youth in communities, and basically doing what we call training and capacity building activities on SDGs and how they can be able to understand more about SDGs and find ways and means to be able to start working to applicate them. I've also been doing a lot of waste management activities, basically doing cleanups and with young people in communities, mainly in slum settings. And this, of course, has been a good opportunity for them to learn, basically on the 3 Rs. And now we're adding the fourth one, the repurpose. The fifth one is refuse. And out of that, of course, we've had a situation whereby we've seen cases of clean communities around where they stay. I've also been tapping into youth and innovative activities, working with young people in the area of technology and helping young people to focus on design thinking and also working on finding solutions on the ground based on the needs. And that has been very instrumental in the sense that many young people have also been able to come up with apps. For example, there's this app called Makaya app that is of safe motherhood that gives young people an opportunity to go out there, especially in marginalized areas, and work with pregnant women, right? And to monitor their gestation period and also to connect them with the healthcare workers so that within that process, they are able to be monitored. And also when it comes to that time for them to give birth, they can be able to be received and obviously attended to. I've also been looking at other knowledge and information platforms that have been very important for our young people through workshops, seminars, and conferences to make sure that they have that information that they need to be able to make certain decisions that are really relevant to the communities they live in. Thank you.
What are your thoughts on climate change, and do you think it's a reversible phenomenon?
Thank you very much for that question. Well, climate change is real. It is not a hoax. It is not a lie. Um, we need to work with science. I believe that climate change is something that we can reverse. Climate change and global warming is with us, so to speak, and of course driven by human-induced emissions and of greenhouses and in the world, and the result is large scale. And so there has to be a shift in how we think and reason around climate change. And at the same time, these shifts in weather patterns, continue to cause havoc. And this havoc is actually what is with us. And because the earth is warming and increasing energy, and which causes wind speeds, which we call cyclones and tornadoes, and we've seen cases of destruction all over the world, and this is not good. So these adverse effects that are happening right now in our planet have a big impact to our lives and our coexistence. So there has to be a way of finding a solution. And the solution is us waking up to the reality that this is real and that we need to work with science. We need to make sure that we work for nature and not against nature. So yes, there has to be a quick action to reverse the effects, and it can be done. So indeed, it is a reversible phenomenon, if I may say so. But this has to be done within the context of sustainable development as we conserve the environment so that we can achieve that success, or rather do the reversing. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. Okay, on to the next question. Do you think the youth are proactive enough in addressing current issues in the world?
That's a good one. Yeah. What can I say? Yeah, indeed, and certainly, youth are really the, what can I say? They are the young trees of the world. They represent that inspiration and aspiration. And what that means is that yes, they are proactive. They have what it takes to really address these current issues in the world. Although they need to be self-aware of themselves, and as they do good and right, they also need to be self-managers who are going to be responsible, accountable, and also be transparent in their undertakings, even as they work with others. So as they get on with that space of life as youth, and as they socially become active, they also need to learn, to get information, and to use the knowledge that they have from schools, not just to learn and acquire knowledge, but also to have that application and use that knowledge well. And even as they continue to relate, I would say with the current issues, for their own good, the good of others, and of course the society and the planet, because it's about you and me and others, and to roll the boat together so that we can make the world a better place. So yes, the youth are proactive, and I can vouch for them. But there are those things that they need to look at so that they can redirect their thoughts, their actions, and abilities to the right causes. Thank you.
All right. What are some of the avenues the youth can use to drive change in today's world, and how do they apply to climate change and environmental conservation?
All right, so environment conservation is all about conserving, protecting, and managing the environment. And young people have a great, opportunity to be able to see that this is actually addressed. So there are many platforms young people can tap into. I mean, one is the technology and the social media space, and which young people can use very well to be able to not just share knowledge, information, but also to advocate for environment conservation, and also look at what we can be able to do to be able to find a solution to the environment. They can also tap to schools, colleges, and universities activities that are geared towards promoting such courses of environment conservation. They can tap into what I call creativity and innovation platforms in society, of course, powered with partners like corporates, talk of government projects, so that they can institute a process in partnership with these partners for the good of the environment. And through that, talking innovation and technology, they can come up with apps which can be able to help with the research to find climate solutions, for instance. They can develop techniques and with their lecturers to address global warming. They can be able to promote that ingenuity, because I believe that young people have that true genius that is required of today to meet the problems and the challenges of the present. They can also largely partner with others and in many environment conservation activities, planting of trees, participate in World Environment Day. Tomorrow, they can be able to share ideas, notions, and sentiments on in the area of environment conservation. So there are many opportunities that young people can be able to really get into, so that they can be able to become useful and relevant in terms of finding solutions to the challenges that the world is facing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that answer. Do you think the older generation play a vital role in ensuring the youth are able to take up spaces for driving change? Is this the current case?
One thing I can say is that the older generation, of course, has a role to play in making sure that they work with the current generation and the future generation for the good of people and the planet. Certainly, they do have a role and of mentorship, of coaching, of hand-holding these young people so that they can be able to get the knowledge that is required, the forecast, the locus, the direction, and the ways and means of how to be able to participate effectively in this direction. So I want to say categorically that, of course, the older generation has a big role to play in that space and in many other ways. But it is not the responsibility of the older generation alone, Mitch. It is a matter of everyone coming on board, and that includes our young people, to make sure that we join hands, we row the boat together, and deliver as one as far as environment conservation is concerned, all in the world.
My final question would be, what do you think is an action someone can take today, right now, after they watch this interview to help the environment and the world at large?
Wow, very good question. Number one, small things, big things can make a big difference in the world. So the first thing maybe that one can do is to switch off the lights when you're not using them. Number two, don't stay too long in the showers. When you stay too long in the showers, you're wasting water, and that is unsustainable. So being objective when you go to the showers, running the water, make sure you don't take too long in there. The other one is recycle, reuse, reduce, refuse, and repurpose. The other one would be afforestation. Try as much as you can to tap into spaces, environments, and strategies or other activities that are geared towards afforestation, planting of many trees. Go out there and acquire more knowledge, get more knowledge, join up with others in workshops, seminars, and conferences, and to discuss and to promote action that is geared towards, I would say, soil conservation, talking of forest conservation. Make sure that you're part of the discussion and the solutions when it comes to reducing pollution. At the same time, tap into waste management activities. I mean, in your communities, in partnership with government, in partnership with county governments, and with your schools, colleges, universities, to make sure that you drive the change that is required to make sure that the world is a better place. Again, be part of the whole axis of public awareness. In your own small way or big way, you can do something in a manner that no one else can. Just like that hummingbird, very tiny bird. I mean, going out there and building a nest for its family, or for for others. You can also do something in a manner that no one else can. So be rich in your action and do something that can conserve the environment. So there are many things to do, but in the interest of time, we can be able to leave it at that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That is all I had for today. Thank you very much for meeting me. I really appreciate it. Once everything is set up, I'll share with you the YouTube link.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. Together we stand, divided we fall. All of us have a role to play in this journey of environment conservation, but it has to be done in a sustainable manner. The old generation and the current generation has a role to play to make sure that we protect the future generations. We need to do what is good and right so that we can promote our needs today, and also as we make sure that we don't compromise the needs of the future generations. The key is environment conservation and in a sustainable manner. Thank you so much for having me. Greatly appreciated.
All right. Have a lovely evening. Bye and stay safe.
Asante. Cheers.